Hello everybody and welcome to the chassis variant series with the Bushwacker. So, we're up with the Bushwacker BSW X2 variant in this video. This is one that is a simple modification of the standard X1 prototype that was used during the clan, well, not during, after the clan invasion, sorry. The ER large is replaced. We have two LRM5s instead, and a pair of medium pulses. And for some reason it drops one of its heat sinks, sadly. So it's a tiny bit hotter for a little bit more range damage, but better short range damage. You'll notice a theme with the Bushwacker's variants actually taking it more into the close-up brawling type ranges instead of the ranged engagement that the original is so focused on. Because the original Bushwacker is obviously designed at keeping a foe back and then going forward and doing the damage when the targets have been opened up with things like its LV-10 and its LRM-5 and its ER larges, and then using its machine guns and medium laser and the AC to sort of finish off the target at medium to short range. And obviously, as you can see with this variant, it's, oh, let's get rid of the ER large and let's go in for more of a medium pulse with, you know, a tiny bit extra LRM damage. Obviously, in MechWarrior Online, 2 LRM5s isn't much. You know, LRM5s only really work in a swarm pattern, and by that means, you know, lots of LRM5s rapidly firing all the time at a target, and when it's out in the open, it just literally gets burnt down. Now, obviously, 2 missile slots in this version means you can make pretty much what the S2 variant becomes, which is a couple of SRM racks built in with, you know, some decent energy hardpoint setups. You know, your energy's all based in your torsos, I believe, so you don't have to worry about your arms as much, and it still carries the ballistic slot with the AC-10, so it's not too bad with that. Obviously, the Bushwacker, I think, is still finding its feet in MechWarrior at the time of this recording. I'm not seeing as many as I did at launch. It's one of those mechs that had that iconic art that really made it stand out, and it's a fantastic mech on the tabletop. But obviously, in the grand scheme of things in MechWarrior Online, it's, you know, it's not setting the world on fire. It's not changing anything. It's not really going to make any grand sweeping changes to how people are running their mediums. I think one of the main problems is it's such an awkward layout for its weapons, as it makes it difficult to use because it can't be a zombie mech. It really only works with XL engines. It can't run very well on standard engines. It's very much a specialised mech, I think, for a lot of people. And sadly, there are just better mediums out there that can do a better job than the poor old Bushwacker can achieve, which is odd given the fact that the Bushwacker is obviously meant to be a more advanced inner sphere design, and there are older inner sphere mechs that do the job better. And, you know, because you see them more often, you know, in as far as the medium category is concerned. Oh, sorry about the hitch there with the video. That was it, changing time of day. It's a bug with MWO that's been around since the time of day changes. I always get like a sharp drop in frame rate for a second. That wasn't the video screwing up. So the X2, I mean, if you like the standard Bushwacker, this is, you know, a slightly different layout stock, and it's got a few more options for you in the missile department, so it's not a bad choice. It's at least it's unique. It's not a humanoid mech. I know a lot of people dislike, you know, too many humanoid designs, and they prefer the more kind of robot, kind of, you know, sci-fi look instead, and this fits the bill perfectly. Now, oh, I remember this one. This is quite a nasty fight, if I remember correctly. I kept this around because it was a nastier fight. So, I mean, I've given a recommendation, and there's not a huge amount of time left in this one, but I think the problem that this mech suffers from is that it was another one of those nostalgia pieces. It was one of those things that lots of people asked for, not really considering the mechanics of MechWarrior Online. And so a lot of people asked for it, and PGI obviously acquiesced, going, well, money, obviously, why not? And yeah, people got what they asked for, but not necessarily the the grand mech that they remember from MechWarrior 3 and MechWarrior 4. It's just not the same kind of thing. It's a different beast, this game. So I personally think, sadly, the Bushwacker is probably going to end up being left in the out in the cold. I think it's going to end up being very quickly replaced by the 3060 mechs in the near future, later this year when the new tech is added. So it's definitely really only one of those mechs you'll probably want to get if you fondly remember the Bushwacker. If you're just in it for what works best, I don't really see the Bushwacker being in many people's competitive builds in faction play or for tournaments. That's just it, sadly. I like the mech personally because part of it for me is nostalgia, and I love running the mech. But if you're interested in it from the perspective of how good is it at dealing damage and killing targets, it's just not up there with the others. But I do like I like this one a bit more because the pulse lasers give it some good damage potential for me. The two LRM5s, it eats ammo a bit too quickly, so I'm not as enamoured with the dual LRMs, but the AC-10 and the pulse lasers is a nice mix. Allows you to do a lot of damage quickly, so that's why I'd recommend the X2, sorry, if you haven't already tried it. So thanks for watching, everybody. You can watch me get horribly murderized here at the end of this round, and I'll see you in the next chassis variant vid. Have a good one, folks. Checking out.
New target acquired. Destroyed. SRM destroyed. Critical damage. New target acquired.